Good morning, Year 2. I hope you're all working hard at home still and are enjoying the activities we've been setting for you each day. What I'm going to do today is explain the last part of our English, and we're going to finish the story of the Great Fire of London, again with you creating pictures, using captions, words and some of the important vocabulary that we might be needing when we're back in school. So yesterday you drew some pictures and wrote some information about the middle of the story, and I asked you to try and include the names of the important person that wrote it down in his diary, and that was Samuel Pepys, and to explain how they stopped the fire, and that was by blowing up or pulling down houses to create a fire break, and that why they banned carts from going near the fire. Now, I hope you can all answer me if I asked you, why did they ban carts? Well done. Yeah, they banned carts because they're made of wood. And as we know, wood burns very, very easily. And if the carts were burning and they drove past some of the other houses, they might have made the fire even worse and carried the fire even further into London. Okay, what we're going to do today is we're going to draw some pictures and again write some words and captions, use some vocabulary to explain how the fire stopped and what happened afterwards. So I'm just going to share with you what we looked at yesterday, our PowerPoint of the fire from the very beginning. So we'll just remind ourselves so far of what has happened. So we know that early on Sunday morning, the fire started at Thomas Farriner's Bakery on Pudding Lane. And if you can all remember, the very important job Thomas Farriner had was to bake for the, well done, he baked for the king at that time. Okay, so in the middle of Sunday morning, the fire spread and people heard about it and tried to escape from its path. Now, again, we know it was spreading really, really quickly because the houses were very close together. Tudor houses in that time, if you remember, were made with jetties, so the top floors were really close together. And as you can remember, they used to be able to shake hands in their top windows with their neighbours. So the houses were very, very close. So the fire could easily spread from one house to another. Samuel Pepys, that's the important person I asked you to remember yesterday, started to record what was going on in London in his diary. He wrote down what he could see, what he could hear, and what was going on and what the people were trying to do to stop it. On Sunday evening, the houses were pulled down to make what we called a fire break, as we just spoke about, to try and stop the fire from spreading so quickly through London. People tried to escape onto the River Thames, as you know, because they thought it was safer on the River Thames on the water, and put all of the things they owned into boats and tried to keep them as safe as they possibly could. Now, late that Monday morning, as we've just discussed, carts were banned from going near the fire because, as you can see, they're made of wood, and lots of the things that were carried inside them were made of wood or made from materials that could quite easily catch fire. Now, this is where we need to remember and listen really carefully, because this is the part of the story I'd like you to write about today, or draw pictures about, or write words about. It's entirely up to you. So on Monday evening, the fire spread very close to an important building in London, the Tower of London, but luckily it didn't reach it and that Tower of London survived. But unfortunately, the really important church, St Paul's Cathedral, was destroyed by the fire. It was burnt to the ground. There was nothing left. Now on Wednesday, the fire started to burn more slowly as the wind had died down. Now, as we've talked about in class, the wind was making the flames move around so much that they were touching the houses next door to them very, very easily, and that helped also to spread the fire. Thursday, by the time the wind had stopped blowing, it had died down, the fire was finally out. And that's where the story finishes for us. Okay, so what I would like you to do today is I would like you to create some pictures, write some words, some sentences about how the fire finished, what happened, why it stopped, what important weather condition happened that helped the fire to stop, and also see if you can remember the names of some important buildings that either were destroyed or weren't destroyed. Okay, once you finish that, I've put a link on our home learning for today for the Oak Academy Trust, where they are going to help you to write a timeline all about the Great Fire of London. Now, a timeline is a line where you show how things happened in order. What happened first, what happened next, what happened then, what happened after, what happened last. And that's going to help us when we're back in school to write down the whole story of the Great Fire of London. I know you can do it because I know you know lots of facts about the Great Fire of London, and these timelines will help us to do that. So once you've finished doing your pictures of the end of the story, click onto the Oak Academy link, work through the Great Fire of London timeline lesson, and then at the end of it, see if you can create a timeline of events from where they started to how they ended. If the number of events that they ask you to create is too many, that's fine. You can just do 3 events, what happened at the beginning, what happened in the middle, and what happened at the end. Or you might want to add in some extra bits if you can. I look forward to seeing all your lovely work. You can email that to me on the home learning pack. See you soon. Keep safe.